You got to be telling me. Was it no sound? I was just saying all that shit and there was no sound. Damn, what's up? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unfiltered Experience. I'm Christopher Rausch, and this is your place to have conversations where they are unfiltered, designed to move you forward in your perspectives and your abilities to conquer anything else you want to do in your particular life, whether it's just Scott and myself, or we actually have guests on the show. And I'm proud to say the Unfiltered Experience was launched 1 year ago today. We actually launched it New Year's Eve. I was up in Big Bear. Scott was at his house, and we launched the Unfiltered Experience. It used to be called Friday Night Live when we were doing it specifically, during COVID to make people's lives just a little bit better in what was going on. We did that last year, and I just realized, because I look back and I'm like, wow, we've done 52 shows doing the Unfiltered Experience, and my podcast, the Raw and Unscripted show, I think I'm up to 136 on that one as well. So obviously, I'm coming to you guys every single week, bringing you the unfiltered, the raw and unscripted conversations designed to move you forward. And I'm just happy to be here tonight. My family's downstairs getting ready for our New Year's Eve tonight. We're going to be playing games, watching movies, having some food, and just having a really good time. So I thank you guys for being here. I hope there's sound. Is there sound now? Tell me there's sound. At least says there's no sound. What's up? No audio. Are you kidding me? No, you got to be kidding me. There's got to be audio now. Tell me there's audio now. Well, actually, obviously you guys are commenting. Tell me there's audio now. Somebody type in right now. We got Darlene in the house. We got Lee in the house. We got Robert in the house. We got Mary Sterling in the house. What are you guys doing? Happy New Year's Eve. This is so awesome. You have sound now. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't do something. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't unmute my mic. That was the funny thing. This is the Unfiltered Experience. We can do anything right here. This is life. This is what happens. And you just kind of go with the flow. So thank you guys letting me know that we're here. We got Margaret in the house. Margaret, I'm sorry I missed you last night. And look forward to talking to you here pretty soon. Thank you guys all for being here. What's kind of exciting about tonight is I put a Facebook post out there and I said, hey, if anybody's feeling like they want to come on camera with me since Scott can't be here tonight, that was one of the things I said when I was muted. Scott is spending time with his family tonight, so truly understandable. He's got his entire family over his house. He's like, dude, I can't be doing a show right now. And I'm like, no worries. I just want to come to you guys because that's what we do here, whether it's Scott by himself or myself, or together. Obviously, we're bringing you guys the Unfiltered Experience. So thank you. So I've got a couple of friends that are it's going to be popping on here in just a little bit, sharing their perspectives. But I just wanted to really, take a look at the fact of what 2021 was for each and every one of us. I truly hope that when you look at a year and you review your year, you should, because I actually did this today. I usually do it sooner. So I've got three pages of notes that I took, and I just wrote down 2021, the year in review, and just kind of like encapsulated it. And then I just wrote down all the wins, and then I wrote down the challenges as well. And then I wrote down my 2022 vision. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit, so I can share that with you guys, because obviously you are impacted, because a lot of what I do is bringing you guys this valuable content designed to inspire you to think differently about your past, present, and your future, to really get off your ass and get embraced with the fact that, you need self-discipline, you need self-love, you need to really have a visualization for what it is that you're doing and where you're going. And that's what I bring to the table. No excuses, because, here's the thing. When you think about, I've heard a lot of people say this, oh my God, 2021 went by like this. 2021 went by like this. Ladies and gentlemen, the years are going to continue to go by faster, because now you have more memories to process. And what's happening now is you see that your hourglass, the sand in the hourglass, is getting lower and lower and lower. And by proxy, that's what causes us to start having that sense of overwhelm, that sense of uncertainty, that sense of need to be in control. And sometimes, honestly, a lot of people get into a situation where they start being mediocre. They start settling because they're afraid of upsetting the apple cart later in life. They don't want to take any more risks or any more chances. But it doesn't matter whether you're fucking 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old. Life is about living and really truly showing up to the party. Sorry, I got to slow down here for a second. I've got so many different thoughts in my mind. I'm so excited to bring this to you tonight. Is that when you recognize that no matter where you're at in your journey, every moment is a gift. Every moment is a gift. And so when you reflect on 2021, and I want you to do this, if you haven't done it already, really sit down and think about what the perspective is about the year. Was it a growth year? Was it a stagnant year? Was it a decline year? Did you get stuck in a pity party? Did you get stuck in some of your addictions or whatever? Or was it a year that you triumphed and said, you know what, 2020, when COVID hit, think about the time lapse that we're talking about. COVID hit in March of 2020, and now we are talking here December 31st, 2021. Right. So we had that. Everybody said, oh my God, 2021 is going to be the best year. And I talked to a lot of people who admittedly said truthfully, and I'm one of them, 2021 was not the year that I actually thought it was going to be. It was not the year that I predicted. It was not the year I intended, albeit it was very fantastic and it made a lot of impacts. And I have tons of wins on my paper. But truthfully, where I saw 2021 for me is the way now I'm seeing 2022. So what I had to do is I had to go sit there and say, okay, what were my practices and what were some of the strategies that I had for making 2021 my year? And where did I slip? Where did I slide? And one of the great aspects of 2020 or 2021 for me was doing 75 hard. And I'm going to be talking about that with somebody here in just a few minutes, and being able to do that in the middle of the year and really just kind of setting myself up for having an awesome half of the year from June until December. But quite honestly, after 75 hard, I slipped a little bit. So that's kind of the things that we do. And we just got some more people in the house. We got Angel in the house. What's up, Angel? We got Larry Schneider in the house. Thank you guys for being here. This is amazing. I figured you guys all be about partying and doing stuff. I only planned on coming here for like 20 minutes if there was anybody that even showed up. So I appreciate you guys being here. Deborah says a new beginning of the year and possibilities are abound. Yes, yes, yes. Eric, what's up in the house? He says 2022 is going to be a year of massive bounce back year for many. Totally believe that, man. Thank you for being here and spending your time with us. Margaret's in the house again. She says, hi, Angel. Happy New Year. And Darlene's commenting here. She says, 2021 has been a win for me, but I am still growing. 2022 has blessings in store for me. Yes. And so one of the blessings that I've had the opportunity of doing over this course of this year, when I wrote down my wins, was I got to connect to a lot of beautiful people. And that's no shit. That's probably one of the greatest gifts of this year, aside from spending time with my son and my family, was really connecting with souls on similar journeys as mine, whether they're a little bit, behind, if you want to say, or a little bit ahead, or wherever they might be in their journey, just connecting with like-minded people who have a vision of restoring the faith in humanity, have a vision of really seeing things in terms of understanding what is going on first, rather than trying to pontificate or blab what it is that they're thinking about and trying to espouse. A lot of people out there with their megaphone saying, you should do this and you shouldn't do this, and look at this article and look at all these things. Let me try to change you so I feel better. Everybody's going to do their own thing. And the thing I love about the people that I've met this year is that they're beautiful souls, truly intending on discovering themselves and growing and expanding in their own ways, but also being able to share that experience vulnerably, authentically with others so that we all can continue to grow together. And one of those people that I'm happy to say is waiting backstage right now. She's a beautiful soul. We've done some Instagram lives together. She was on my Raw and Unscripted show. She joins us on Clubhouse. She joins us in our men's group session every single Wednesday night. She jumps in some of the other Clubhouse rooms. She's magnificent. She's so sweet, and her message is so valuable. I am excited to welcome to the show Alexis McQuillan. How are you doing, Alexis? How are you, beautiful? Happy New Year's Eve. You look radiant, and I'm guessing you're going to be going out and killing the town. So how are you?
I know I'm wearing my glitter, my sequins jacket right now because I have to do my hairs, but I'm doing good. I'm really excited to be here, especially on New Year's Eve. I never in a million years. Cheers, whiskey. I would have never thought that I'd be doing this on New Year's Eve. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, I'd be like, no, never.
I'm going to be doing a podcast with some old guy wearing a bandana. Really? That's the beauty of life, right? You show up and you engage with people who are meant to be engaged with, and shit starts flying. So what has 2021 meant for you? In terms of growth and wins and perspectives, what has it meant for you overall?
Okay, so I was having a huge epiphany before I jumped on, because I was like, what does it mean to me? And I was, listing out all my wins in my head, and I was like, dude, I'm a badass. That I know, like, that sounds
You're a badass. Oh,
I'm a badass. You know why? It's because this year I have done so much inner work, and I feel like it's funny and I just realized, I swear I just realized this. I realized that anything that I wanted to accomplish or in moment to moment accomplish, I didn't allow fear to stand in the way. And it's because of the inner work I did. And it was because I separated myself from my ego and I started deconditioning myself at the beginning of the year. And I noticed, I'm like, oh my God, I resigned from my career, and I went full time with my business. Even like the little things like, eating healthier, working out, like things that like we get in our own way about, I no longer get in my way. I mean, I'm sure I do in many ways, of course, but I feel like fear is no longer a huge obstacle in my life and it doesn't run my life any longer. And like that is such a huge win for me. I can't even tell you.
What were you afraid of before? I mean, talk to us about some of your fears. What were your biggest fears?
It's funny because it's like it's everything. If you would have asked me a year ago, I'd have been like, I'm afraid of sharks. I don't know. I mean, but not really. But I noticed that fear was running my life. So I wouldn't put myself out there. I wouldn't tell my story. I wouldn't do a public speaking thing. I did public speaking this year, which is terrifying. I wouldn't have jumped on this pod.
It's not terrifying. Yeah. It's exhilarating.
It is. It still gives me a little anxiety, but like, I love it so much. But I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have jumped on this podcast. I wouldn't have resigned from a job where I was making really good money to go full time, all in with my business. I wouldn't have done the inner work and felt my emotions. And man, I can't tell you. I can tell. Oh, sorry. Uh-oh. My sequence is like snagging. I'm like, ah.
Well, you got glitter problems, girl.
That's a great fear of mine right now.
What, your glitter is gonna snag?
Yeah, it's all snagging, and then it's gonna be all tarnished. Yeah,
it'll be all good.
Anyway, but yeah, no, I would say everything, and I wasn't recognizing the fears as a fear, but now I do, and I'm able to overcome that now because I have a choice, and I'm able to confront the fear and move through any obstacle that I face and see it for what it is. Life.
The experience for expansion and growth, right?
How about you?
How about me?
What fears do you have?
Fears of having regrets. That's always been the biggest thing. It's in the forethought of my mind is like whenever my time comes, I just want to make sure that I have everything in place, the book written and all the messages to my son written so that, whether it's tomorrow or 30 years from now, that I have my message out there for people. But yeah, I think the biggest fear is not achieving the potential that I'm set out to be. Right. When we think about our soul contract, you think about our soul contract, and Ed Milet talked about this. He goes, my thinking is this, that we're born here with like a spec sheet. Like when you buy a car, you have a spec sheet, you get all these different things, and getting to the end of the journey and meeting whoever in the afterlife. And they're like, let's do a review of this spec sheet. Okay. Christopher Rausch was supposed to have spoken on international stages. He was supposed to have done these. Did you do that? No. Okay. What limited you? And having to do that like the little post-test review, trying to figure out, okay, what is it that I missed and what is it that I didn't achieve? So for me, the biggest fear is not living up to that potential. And I recognize that here in 2021, for the first half of the year, I still had my mother-in-law here. I still had my son here because of COVID and everything. So the first half of the year, I had plenty of excuses. I was taking care of him. I was focusing on him. But what was interesting is after she went back to Chicago and after my son went back to school, then I was like, okay, I have zero excuses. I have the whole day to myself. There's no interruptions. Everything is good. And then I found myself having to get adjusted to that too. So I find in this year that I'm very particular to routine. I'm very particular. Okay, here's my circumstances. Here's how I operate. And as soon as that shifts, I go, okay, I have zero excuses, but okay, what am I going to do? So I started filling my time up. It wasn't that I wasn't doing anything, but I was not focusing on the right things. So for me in 2022, I've split off a lot of the things. I always tend to make these big plans. So now I'm just like really focused on just 3 specific areas so that I don't get overwhelmed by that. So I'm constantly learning and growing within myself to make sure that I don't have this same feeling next year. Not that I don't feel accomplished, but I also feel like I could have accomplished more.
Wow. I mean, you're thinking on a cosmocentric level right now. Like you're thinking about soul contract. I get it. I've thought about that a lot too. I'm like, what am I doing this moment that's not leading me to where I signed up for, in previous lives or whatever karma's, filtering its way into my life right now. And that's some deep stuff, man. That's really deep.
Yeah, I'm open to the journey. I surround myself with people like you, like Lee, all the different, my buddy Scott, who's normally here co-hosting with me. I've opened myself up to what's actually funny is in my tagline. My tagline is that I help people overcome their self-created crap without the self-help fluffy bullshit. So for many years, meditating, doing all this, the soul contracts and spirits and, all these, different things that we have going on in the ether. Well, that was all bullshit. I know the plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G to make sure that you're successful in everything that you're doing. Here's the plan. Here's what you do. You stick to the script and here's what's up. And then opening my eyes to really truly seeking out inner peace, which is something that has been so important for me. And by now having the freedom from the corporate position and the freedom just to be me in the bandana, everything, just owning who I am and how I speak, there is so much more opportunity in there to connect with some of those other things I didn't wish to understand because they were unfamiliar to me. And I needed certainty in those particular points in my life. So now I've opened myself up to have those conversations. And we've said it in some of the rooms where I'm like, I tell Lee and I tell all those guys, I'm like, well, I'm not a very spiritual person, but here's what's going on in my heart. And they're like, oh my God, dude, you're totally a spiritual person. I'm
you're
like,
so spiritual.
I wasn't fucking like that before, man. I was like, okay. Right. I was like, whatever, you guys could go sit Indian style and talk about all that shit and eat pears and whatever.
Eat pears.
I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go do something else.
Pears.
I don't know. That just fucking just popped. I just picture people sitting Indian style and having a pear and just going, oh, it's
it's
look at
so
the birds
funny.
are chirping.
It's so funny because a lot of people in this day and age, especially with the tarot and the mediums and everything, they consider that spiritual. And I had this revelation this year of spiritual is we're spiritual beings and we're all spiritual when we're doing the inner work and when we're paying attention to our soul. So, because I used to be like, I'm a spiritual person. I just want to associate with spiritual people. And I was like, wait a second, that doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense.
We're all spiritual people. And actually, speaking of spiritual people, I have somebody backstage that I don't know if you know about, but this is going to be a fun little situation. You want me to bring them on?
Ooh, yes.
I have a special guest. We're going to be live. We've been live on Clubhouse, but we've never, all three of us, been live in person. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Simple Spirit himself, Lee.
Oh, this is so cool.
Lee in the house. Lee Height is in the house. What's up, brother? How are you doing this fine evening?
Oh man, it's been a day. Because I got the littles for the week or for 2 weeks, and they're here. Do you want to meet them?
Absolutely. Yes. Let's meet them.
Come here, Megan, come on. We were just over and saw Kirsten Ann, one of our friends.
Oh yeah, in Princeton, yeah.
We got haircuts. Get down here so you can.
Hi.
There's Logan.
Hey, what's up?
Their YouTube
New Year.
This is Logan, and come here, Megan. Megan, come back. Megan's
she's like, I don't want to be in front of 10 million people.
You want to be famous all over the world?
8 million right now.
Don't make nice face.
Make a nice face, yeah.
There we go.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan. Happy New
My
Year.
friends, Alexis and Christopher. There you go. Say hi.
Hey, girl. Hey.
All right.
Are you looking forward to having New Year's Eve with your pop?
You can talk. Why are you being all quiet?
I don't know.
There she is, making her world debut. Making her world debut. We got some beautiful people in the house. We got our other brother from another mother. We got Walt in the house. He goes, it's the whole fam. What's up, Walt? No. I can send you a link, brother. I know you got stuff going on with the family, but yeah, I just put this out there for hey, if you guys want to jump on here and just riff. We got Jock in the house, another amazing person that we've met this year who we absolutely love to listen to and to interact with. Jock, thank you so much for being here. We love you guys. What do you think about some of the stuff that we're riffing on? Lee, I know you were backstage listening and we're talking about stuff that's right up your alley. So what are you thinking about 2021 for your journey?
Well, first of all, I rewrote, my big thing yesterday was rewriting the whole goal setting paradigm for everybody. I thought I'd do us all a favor.
Shy.
I changed.
I saw your live.
Yes, I changed smart to shine, so we can all just kind of relax just a little bit. I mean, goals are important, but man, the whole SMART goal thing was just beating me up.
Which part?
Just
the realistic part.
Yeah. Well, what is it? What was it? Specific,
measurable,
specific, measurable. What was the A? I don't remember what the A was.
Attainable, which I thought was repeating of realistic.
Right. So anyway, I just threw it all out. I tossed it and it said simple, heartfelt, inspiring, new, right? Because we're stepping into new territory. And something that generates enthusiasm.
Ooh, enthusiasm. I like that. Why do you have enthusiasm?
Because what I know is like, and this is something Alexis and I were talking about.
Yes, I was going to bring that up too.
Right?
Say it.
We were talking about, it's like, when you think about a goal, it's something that gets you excited.
Lights you up.
That lights you up, that generates energy. So, that hour and a half we spent on the phone, Alexis, oh my God. I mean, I'm still having fallout from that. Good fallout. Good fallout.
Fallout? That sounds bad. That sounds like something just got bombed.
I know, right?
What did you do to him, Alexis?
I get hits. I get hit all the time. It's great. Both of you guys. I mean, both of you have been highlights for me this year, and that's been absolutely amazing.
Happy to, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clap too, like Christopher.
Both of you have just been amazing, and I hope that I have blessed you half as much as you have blessed me.
Oh, dude, massive.
Dude.
Thank you so much.
I'm stoked you guys are here. Scott couldn't be here tonight. He's with family. And so I got some people here keeping me company. And you guys have just been amazing blessings in my life. But what has 2021 meant for you, Lee? In terms of awakenings and different things that you've had, because I know you've been processing a lot. And I talked about 75 Hard a little bit. And I know what you did there. But what have been some epiphanies for you?
Well, it started with a lot of dad stuff. You remember, Christopher.
Gotcha. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only how many minutes in? 23 minutes in, and we got them. All right.
Right.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
I can keep talking. Oh, you collect your thoughts here for a second. We got Patricia in my house. Patricia is one of my dear, dear mentors. Oh my God, you guys would love Patricia getting us on a 4-way call. Make sure I say that. Getting us on a 4-way call with Patricia. She wrote the book, The Karmic Alibi. She is a magnificent soul in my life. I don't get to have as much time with her as I would love to, but yes. Thank you, Patricia, for being here. We got Margaret in the house. She says, I love the shine concept. We find measurable goals for inner growth. Yes. We got Eric Bam in the house. He's saying 2022 goal, marry Alexis. Right there, guys. I think we have a marriage proposal.
I'm blushing right now.
I can make that happen, Eric. I can make that happen. Patricia says, I am here wishing you all the best. Happy New Year. Love you so much, Christopher. I love you too. Remember, I got to send you this new one. Believe. Yeah, I could tell you a story about this, but I won't right now. But Patricia understands the power of that bracelet and why it says believe. So thank you, darling. Walt says to send him the link. Should we have Walt on here too?
Yes.
Do we have Walt on here too? Okay. Lee, you have the mic back. I feel like I'm on Clubhouse. Okay, I'm Christopher, and I'm completely it's like we're always doing this on Clubhouse. So this is really cool. I'm gonna send him the link. So bear with me for a second while I do that. You guys talk.
I'll talk about 21. So it started with dad stuff, and a lot of that is what I was sitting at home on a weekend, minding my own business, and Princeton Clark picks up the phone and sends me a text and says, "Dude, you got to get on Clubhouse." And this was the next day I was on Clubhouse, and it's all been going. I think the next day I was on Clubhouse, and Princeton called me into a room with at that time we were doing 300-400 person rooms.
Oh yeah.
In the morning every day. Princeton pulls me up on stage, and within 2 minutes he's like, blah 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 blah, Lee, go.
And you're like,
I love it.
Right. And I went and I
fly today, motherfucker. You're gonna fly today.
You were probably there, Christopher, because you were always there.
Yeah.
I probably went for 10 minutes, 15 minutes on whatever the spiritual topic was, and signed off and went back to work. And it's like it's all been, it's all gone from there. And it's for me. Here's the thing. For me, this is a re-entry activity, because I was a full-time senior minister, international board of trustees, suit and tie, 7 days a week, running not just my own church but 3 major programs at the same time. Rising star. 30, mid-late 30s, blah, 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 crashed and burned after 10 years because I never learned how to say no. And I had no boundaries, none. And so I fell into all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so now I'm back because I've had a chance to get out into the world and live my life, because I realized that I had been cloistered in that space, in that real spiritual space, for nearly 30 years. Being in the church, being in leadership in the youth group, blah, blah, blah. Went from that. Took a couple years and kind of went and did my thing, crazy stuff. Ended up living in my car in a parking lot in Marina Del Rey, which was pretty cool. I mean, I was lifeguarding and doing some cool stuff, but I was in my parking lot. And then then my dad came and found me and said, "What about college?" And off we went. All that to say, this is a reentry from a whole new perspective. I'm a completely different person with the same knowledge and more, coming at it and going, you know what, folks? Spirituality is not hard. Spirituality is incredibly simple. We make it difficult because, I don't know, it's the human thing. I don't know why. We like to make it difficult. We like to make things difficult, I believe, out of our own lack of self-worth.
Yep, self-sabotage.
Because we self-sabotage. We get afraid. We get so comfortable in our space that when somebody puts something out in front of us and says, here, all you got to do is this, and you can grow exponentially day by day. And we're like, oh, yeah. And then we start, and things start changing, things start falling away. And we're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm uncomfortable.
I'm awkward. This doesn't feel right. Go back to certainty.
My little lounge chair of life all of a sudden has a couple bumps in it. I've got to get off my butt and actually make changes and do stuff. Right? So that's my thing. My thing is coming at spirituality. And dude, I can do the rabbit hole conversations all day long. Both of you know this. Mm-hmm. I can do those rabbit hole conversations for hours if that's what you want to do. But what I have found at this point in my life is those are a waste of time for most of us. They're fun. They're entertaining. They stretch us. So they serve us from that perspective because they stretch our minds. They stretch our consciousness. They allow us the opportunity to really explore, the concepts like oneness, the unity of all life, how everything is connected, cause and effect and cause, and what comes first, and all that stuff, laws of correspondence, and spiral theory, string theory, and how it relates to existential metaphysics. We can do that, but how does that affect my day?
Exactly.
So my mission, and has been this year and going into next year, is to do, number one, do my work. I've been doing the dad work. I'm doing the relationship work. I'm doing the recovery work, doing my goal setting work, all this stuff. Started my book. That's like Christopher is one of my accountability partners on that. Everybody here now, right, listening is part of that now. My commitment is to get the first major draft done, complete by the end of March.
Ooh, you're ahead of me. I said by the end of May. I've got 50,000 words done. I think I have probably at least another 50,000 to get out before I can kind of narrow it down. Yeah, that's awesome. Mine's
more of a day by day journal, inspirational.
Oh, got you. Not your life story.
No.
Your life story. That's fun. I got a guest in the back room right now. I'm going to bring on in a few minutes. Who's going to? He has a life story that I'll give you a hint.
Waltz is awesome.
How did you know that?
Hey, dude,
maybe it's Princeton.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe it's Johnny. Maybe it's Lisa. Maybe it's Carol.
I saw
it's Delta Karen. I have Delta Karen in the background.
Okay, fine. Let's do
it.
Don't put a wig on, Delta Karen. I want to see a wig. Go in your wife's naughty drawer and get a wig.
Yeah. So anyway, going into next year, it's the book. I've got some class concepts I'm looking at, some online classes. What I'd really like to do, Christopher, and we haven't talked about this, but I'm going to lay it out there.
Lay it out.
I want to get some of our folks together and do a retreat.
I'm on board. Let's do it.
Like a live, in-person, human, in real life weekend retreat.
I know somebody would be up for that too.
I know people. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But I would like to do that. I think people need that. People want it.
Oh, we got somebody. We got another sister from another mister in the house.
Oh, and Tara wants to do it too. Oh, absolutely.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, that's my wheelhouse. I did that for decades.
I haven't been on a retreat.
You've never been on?
Nope.
Oh, well,
I've been on vacation, but never.
I'm not joking. Sorry, I just interrupted you.
No, you're good. This is the Unfiltered Experience, baby. You can just talk. And you're pretty enough. You can just take the stage. We just shut up. Me and Lee.
Are you sure?
All right. What's up?
I was thinking about that 2 days ago. So that's crazy that you brought that up, and we should do that. I'll bring in the human design.
I would like to do it this summer, like for a weekend. It's not too late to book something for the summer.
Nice.
It's usually the kind of thing where you've got to book like a location for like a year in advance. But I'm thinking in the age of COVID, we'd probably be okay. We could probably find a spot. Yeah. In California.
That would be cool.
Probably.
Yeah.
Jock says he's went on retreat since he was 11 years old.
Yeah, I started going when I was 14 and started leading them when I turned 21. So,
men's group on the beach.
There we go.
We need women too. I'm a woman dude. I'm not a dude. I'm a woman dude. Especially
the guy who starts a men's group. Guy who starts a men's group.
You gotta have cheerleaders at the men's group or something. I mean, that's sexist, isn't it? Is that sexist? I don't care. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. Yeah.
I call it misogynist or something.
All right. So you guys know we have somebody else here. So this is gonna be fun. This is for you guys that are watching this right now. Normally this is like a totally different type of unfiltered experience that we do. Scott and I usually do. So that's why it's fun. But all of us normally talk on Clubhouse, or we talk on Zooms, or we talk in different places. But for us all to be here on screen is really kind of a neat thing for us to do. And without any further ado, let's bring Walt into the conversation. Walt McKinley. What's up, brother? From another mother, out from Arizona as well. You guys are all in Arizona. I'm in California, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you guys just all go to the same place?
We all live close to each other, so
I'm like 6 hours away.
We need to do lunch. The three of us. Yeah. The three of us need to do lunch.
Yes.
Soon. Like,
what about me, fucker?
You make
I put this all together.
You want this to make the drive? You come on out.
You're not invited. You can't sit with us.
Yep.
Oh, he left.
Come on now.
I'm taking my ball and going home.
Tara's like, yes, Walt. She says this is great. Absolutely. Jock says, well, we got that part. And Jock says here, oh, the bad move, Lee. How I know you were doing a book. Expect nagging. So yeah, that's Jock's way of saying get the fuck. How do you do a Scottish accent? I got to get the. I don't know. I can't.
Oh God!
Who wants to do a Scottish accent?
Not gonna try. Nope.
What's funny is my wife is from Scotland, but if I try to do accents, then I usually fuck them up. And what's funny about me when I do accents is I'll go from Scottish to English to Middle Eastern.
Same. Wait, does she have the accent?
Does Scott have the accent, or does Jock?
No, your wife. You said
No, she doesn't. No. She sounds like a California girl. Jock, just going back in the conversation just a little bit. Jock says here, three simple steps to understanding spirituality: love, forgiveness, compassion. Simple, but the hardest thing for a man to employ. I mean, yeah, talking about simple, I was talking to my coaching client today about the 4 agreements. When we talk about simplicity, let's just keep the 4 agreements in mind. And I think the world will heal itself overnight. But so what's up, Walt? Thank you for joining us. I know you got your fam there and everything, but you said, hey, I want to get on this conversation. So welcome. What's on your mind about 2021? I know you've got a lot going on in your brain. Give us a summarization of your year.
So yeah, this year has been really about just aligning spiritually. So what's up, fam? First of all, love you guys. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. It's amazing to thank the beautiful people like all of you, Tara there, Jock there, who have come into my life since I stopped trying to control everything, since I stopped trying to do what my ego told me to do, which is climb the corporate ladder and do all these other things, and really align spiritually to what my purpose was, and step out and make that vision be what God's purpose is for my life. And since that has happened, and that was you know, I was getting doors closed on me in corporate America, told nationally I was the next VP. I didn't take a role in Norfolk, Virginia. And then I got passed over for a role that I should have gotten. I thought my ego told me I should have gotten here in Tempe. And something that they really hired me to take. And it was like the atrophy, and God was closing doors like, you're trying to go your own way. That ain't it. Slamming the door in your face. I'm slamming the door in your face to humble me. And he really got me to the point working 12-hour days, 18 months straight because COVID tripled our work at ADP, that I had a nervous breakdown for the first point of my life. I've never had an anxiety attack, nervous breakdown, never had one before, never had one since. And just slammed me down. And he knew I could take away your physical body because really you only need your mental to work right now. And I thought I was having a heart attack.
Wow.
And that transitioned everything for me. And I said, I can't keep doing this. And my wife said, you know, the house, all the stuff we have, it doesn't mean anything if I don't have you. Because if something happens to you, because you're not listening to your body, you're not listening to your mind, you're not listening to your spirit, I'm going to sell the house. I'm going to sell the boat. I'm going to sell the cars. And I'm going to go move back closer to my parents. So none of this shit that we have means anything if you're not here with me to enjoy it. So I'd rather live in a tiny home and pay cash for it, and we'll figure it out from there, than have you continue to go down the path that you're going. And she's like, we've been talking about being a motivational speaker for decades. You guys, like literally since 18, 19 years old, this has been on my heart to do. And she goes, and I've told you needed to write your memoir for years, ever since she read The Glass Castle years ago. And then I read it and I'm like, wow, that's super compelling. And she was like, let's just go for it, babe. Right? I couldn't have done it without her support because I would have felt compelled to continue to provide for the family in the way I thought I was supposed to. But in a way that was not allowing me to show up as the father and the husband that I needed to be for them because I'm so stressed. And we just dove in. So I left corporate America 6 months ago, and it has been this crazy, amazing, healing, just cathartic journey where not only have I found a different passion for life that I had lost, kind of that zest that you use that you have when you're younger and you don't know and you're naive. And I've regained that, but at 45 years old now. And so, plus with the knowledge that I have now. So it's been amazing having people like you guys all come into my life, just learning every day from the clubhouse rooms and this kind of stuff and getting better. And I'm happy to say today, I didn't end up doing a video on it because it's been a busy day in a good way. I got the last 8 chapters from the editor on Monsters in My House. And so all I got to do, I get to approve those tomorrow. And then she's doing one more run through. So the book should be completely done to copywriting and to get the ISBN number by next week.
Wow. Dude, congratulations.
Yeah.
That is massive.
Awesome.
It's 81,000 words, 310 plus pages. And it's interesting. I asked the editor, I said, what did you think? And she goes, well, I read it all before I started the editing so I can get the macro scale. And she goes, I've been pissed off for you reading that book. I've literally cried reading the book. I've been sad. And then I've been like this roller coaster of emotion, so excited for where you're at and what you're doing, and even lessons that you had when you were a kid, right? She goes, the undertone of just how terrible the parenting was, but you saw getting thrown in the deep end of a pool and almost drowning as a victory because you figured out how to swim. But me, I'm thinking, what a terrible, like that's indicative of your entire childhood. But you're seeing it as a victory. And she goes, and just your attitude towards the triumphant piece of it. She goes, that's exactly what you want though, Walt. She goes, this is phenomenal. And it's just special. I read my book, and Alexis, you and I talked about this. I talked to somebody else who was writing a memoir, and they go, how did you deal with the emotion? Because you got to take yourself to that age and the emotion of what's happening and the abuse.
That's what I'm dealing with.
And I said, so this is Raw and Unfiltered, right? So I can cuss on this.
Oh yes.
Okay.
All my shows you can cuss.
Sailor.
Well, except for Rainbows in Real Life. Pam doesn't want me to cuss on that one.
Because my point can't be made in the
Fiddlesticks.
same way if I don't. So I have a filthy sailor mouth, and I'm trying to.
It needs emphasis, man. It needs emphasis.
Hey, don't force it.
And she said, how did you deal with that emotion? And I said, look, when I reread the book, especially as I'm writing it, but then as I reread it, it really started editing it and taking shape. I thought to myself, like, man, I've been through some really fucked up stuff. Like, one of those things were horrible. Getting thrown in the basement for 2 years for hours and a day or two sometimes, and not being fed, and it's dark down there. One of those things could have broke my spirit. But every time that my spirit, I felt like it was going to break, there was just a little piece there. There was a little piece there, and there was a little bit of light. And the reason I'm here today is because my spirit is unbreakable. The reason you're here today is because your spirit's unbreakable, despite all the shit we went through. And so as I read the book, I really got to the end. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a bad motherfucker, man. Like, I am not
own it.
Don't even hesitate. I'm a motherfucking warrior who made it through this shit. And, and I'm certified. And now what's amazing, because of what I went through, this is why I'm so thankful for all the abuse and trauma that I went through. Now the gifts that I got and the ability to connect and the empathy and compassion, I can help other people overcome their trauma too. How special is that? Like, God was using me as a vessel this whole time. And I wasn't listening to him, right? So he's like, I'm going to knock you all the way to the ground and take your mind away for a little bit and give you a nervous breakdown. And it's going to take you some time to recover from that cloud so that you stop for a second, you be present, you listen to what I'm trying to tell you, that I've been trying to get through to you, that you're not listening. Because contrary to what I look like, I'm fast as hell. God just don't get tired. He was chasing me the whole time, right? And I got up, God helped me up, and I was like, all right, let's go. And he's like, no, bro, you're going this way. You ain't going that way no more. Uh-huh. And since I made that decision to do that, I literally could spend an hour probably talking about all the different things that have happened since then that have just been special and magical. I'm happier than I've been in my entire life because my relationships have always been great with my family, my kids, and my wife. Although they've been tenuous if I'm being an asshole, right? But my personal happiness and what I'm doing and how my purpose is aligned with God's purpose for me and the doors that it's opening up have been just magical, bro. So I don't want to get carried away in here because I'll take up the whole damn however long we're gonna be here. It's just I'm so pumped. You're getting
lots of kudos here. You're getting, congrats. Jock says 6 months and you would think you were an old hat at this, Walt. Killing it. You know what's crazy? I believe all of us met this year, right? Yeah, because I got on Clubhouse the end of December. Actually, Clubhouse just told me yesterday, I think it was, that it was like my 1 year anniversary. And I remember this, it was like the same thing like you guys were saying. It was like, I was going to get on it. I heard about Clubhouse and I was like, okay, I'm already on a WhatsApp thing that I'm not paying attention to. I haven't been focusing on my Instagram. I had somebody turn me down for an interview because my Twitter numbers weren't high enough. And I'm like, I got enough fucking shit to deal with. And people kept saying, oh, you need to get on Clubhouse. I'm like, no. And then when we talk about here and we talk about in our rooms, the vibrational energy of what those signposts are telling us. We have these signposts. I did a podcast on it a couple months ago. It's probably one of my best podcasts, solo podcasts last year or this year. I'm just talking about how we get these wake up calls, and then all of a sudden we get these wake up calls, and then we get these wake up calls, and then we get knocked down. Sometimes we have to hit the bottom. We have to hit the bottom's bottom and something like that. And I literally one day I received a message from 2 different people that I had not heard from in a while. And so this was something that was telling to me, and they're like, Chris, you need to be on Clubhouse within an hour. I remember it was like a Sunday night, 6 o'clock. My wife's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm downloading this app. I said, people keep asking me to check this out. I'm going to go check it out because I'm not going to ignore, I read the book, The Untethered Soul. And in that he talks about, if something shows up, you don't run away from it, you go toward it. If something's showing up as an opportunity and you're hearing that whisper tell you to go with it. And I went with it and I got on the app, and honestly, guys, it restored my faith in humanity. And that is no bullshit. It restored my faith in humanity because at the time we had the elections going on. We had the murder of George Floyd. We had all these different things that were going on, and you see all these different differences, and the world's going to civil war and all this other stuff. And, the January 6th riot on the Capitol, which blew my mind, and everything was just like, oh my God, the fucking people are they're blowing their mind. They're losing their minds. And then I get on Clubhouse and we're in those 300 people rooms and all cross sections of life, different colors, creeds, sexual orientations, everything else. And everybody's pouring into each other, and not a fucking person is asking, who did you vote for? What's your stance on vax? How do you feel about abortion? It was pure love. I get fucking goosebumps every time I think about it, because I would come downstairs and my wife got sick of it. My wife and my mother-in-law are like, oh my God, you're on Clubhouse again. I'm like, no, this is good stuff. I mean, these people need to heal, and all of us are in those places, like operating from our soul. So to the thing I did, these 3 pages of gratitudes and everything else, meeting all you guys, You know, I left a complete life of 25 years in corporate where I thought all my friendships and all these different things were. Then I had to go through that identity crisis in 2022 or 2020 when I was like, okay, now I'm fucking by myself. Okay, what do I do now? How do I motivate myself? I'm used to having timelines and deadlines and people breathing down my back. Going through that experience and now meeting you guys, I feel like I've known you guys forever. We got Tara in the house, we got Jock in the house, Mary Kay in the house. I mean, just right here on my screen, I'm like, all of you guys I met this year, and I feel like you guys are like right here.
Feels like family for sure.
Isn't it amazing? So what are you guys thinking about 2022? What do you guys think about 2022?
Let me add this, Christopher,
Absolutely.
if you don't mind. You know what's so cool about what you just said? Think about corporate and those relationships, but as a leader, you have to be everything for everybody all the time, right? You got to be the strong one, and you're trying to drive a team, and you're trying to do this.
Yeah.
You know what? Some days I get to be strong for us in our group. Some days you get to be strong, right? We all allow ourselves a space to be vulnerable in our groups. And we allow other people to help lift us in those moments so that we can have our cup full so we can lift other people in the moments that they need us. And I think that's one of the most magical thing about the relationships that we're all building and sharing in.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's like, and I was just remember you were talking about, you know, this past year and going into next year. It's like, I totally forgot, Christopher, about the whole 75 hard thing.
You forgot about that?
I did until just
June
like
1st, baby. June 1st. We kicked it off to August 14th.
Yeah, June 1st to August 14th.
I remember fucking days.
Kicked my ass. And yeah, and
so you quit smoking.
It did. And yes, and I quit smoking, and it's still
nice.
So tomorrow will be 7 months.
Give it up for Lee.
Wow.
Yeah, baby. One of the hardest things to do.
7 months. And it's, you know, it's the thing, it kicked my ass. I felt great. I mean, it was, you know, the first couple of weeks were just really hard. But once I got through the first couple of weeks, it was one of those things that really set me free. And what it helped me remember is that I had spent most of my life being a very, very physical being. And I'd gotten away from that. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, it's like, yeah, I got my black belt when I was 39. I started it when I was 12. I started that journey when I was 12, and off and on and off and on and off and off and off, you know, and finished that when I turned 30, right before I turned 39. Got my black belt, 8.5 hour test, 8.5 hours straight, nonstop. Wow.
So you weren't joking when you were like, I could teach you some stuff.
I was not joking. I can teach you some stuff. I mean, it was like, you know, on the beach, doing our test on the beach in Seal Beach, California, you know, back and forth, up, you know, anyway, the whole thing. All that to say, going into 2022, it's like, I remember all this, you know, this past 6-7 months and just going, you know what? It's been intense. It's been intense. And I know it has been for all of us to one degree or another.
Yeah.
And it's like going into this next year, starting tomorrow, it's like, wow. Such opportunity, given what we've been through together. Now that we've bonded and gone through all this, it's like, what's possible now? It's really looking at the vision for that, not just individually, but collectively. It's like, what's possible? What's next? Not just the four of us, but there's a whole bunch of people in this space with us: Tara and Mary and Princeton and Jock and, you know, and the rest. We've got this opportunity before us to do some, not just individual work, but collective work. I mean, ultimately it's all collective work. Ultimately it is. Yes. Acknowledge that. But what's possible? And that's the part that gets me excited. That gets me fired up. Yeah. And maybe this is that thing that you were talking about, Alexis.
Yes.
The whole leadership.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, so yes. So there's opportunity for all of us to do something real magical.
We're doing it. We're doing it right now. Actually, I think Margaret just said right here. Let me say, Margaret says, I think it's right here. Wow, love this convo going into the new year. Thank you, Margaret, for spending your time with us. I mean, it is New Year's Eve. I honestly thought I was going to get on here, and I knew you guys. I knew Alexis and Lee were going to be on here because you guys reached out, and Alexis and I were going to do a live earlier. And then Walt chimed in and said, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had no idea how this was going to go, but the impact is the important aspect of what it is, that why our worlds are colliding. Do you guys like come up with a word for the year, like for 2022? Do you have a word that kind of keeps you focused on things as far as what you're intending on doing?
Collaboration.
So Alexis, collaboration. What's yours, Lee?
What is I wrote? I responded to this question once earlier in the last couple of days. What was it?
You said cookies. I think you said cookies earlier.
Cookies. Magic has kind of been my word this year. And
Magic?
Magic, not in the sense that
Johnson?
a lot of people think about it. Magic. See, magic.
Jokes over here.
Oh my God.
So I made Lee cry and laugh. All right, I'm rocking and rolling.
So magic for me is anything that happens outside of what is considered the norm, right? And so for a lot of us, I mean, we see magic every day because we live outside of the norm every day. So yeah, for me, it's magic. It's magic. It's magnificent. Magnificent is the word that I like recently.
Okay.
So I'm looking for magnificence and magic this year.
Magnificence and magic. The M&M.
I
Lee's
feel
going for the
that.
M&Ms. All right. What about you, Walt? What's your word?
The dad
So
joke.
as usual, I have more than just one word, but it's collaboration,
It's all-
action, and impact. And I feel like the collaboration, God, when I think about Lee, your room, Christopher, your room, my room, and these amazing
They're all
people,
our rooms.
Tara, John, right? That's how I kind of feel. That's why I was like, put your coaching thing up there, like let's feel that. And I think to myself, the amount of people that we can impact, the amount of people that we can help heal, the amount of people that we can show what they're one decision away from changing their lives in such a profound, amazing way, and they need to know they're not alone, can only, like, the impact can be global if we're not trying to do it on our own. And nor do I want to do it on my own. I mean, doing it on your own is lonely. So I love the idea of collaboration, like what we're already building together, the purposeful things that have happened to all of us throughout the last year, so that we can truly have that impact on people who need to hear each one of our stories individually. You know, like Alexis, you and I talked about this. Each person needs to hear their voice. My sister came into the Triumph room this last week, and she loved all of it, right? The first time she's been in it, she loved all of it. She's like, wow, I have more healing than I thought I did, still needed, right? And I said, and she goes, I had the courage to reach out to Tara. She goes, something about what she said was so amazing. Now, I'm her brother, and I'm doing this, and we talk all the time. But she needed to hear somebody else's voice in that room, in that moment. That was the first time that she came in there. So that kind of stuff is magical. That doesn't happen. It's a small scale, right? But the big scale stuff doesn't happen until we just keep focusing on impacting that next one that needs us. So, and then none of it happens if we don't take some damn action, right? Whether it's messy action, refined action, medium-based action, just do it. Stop letting the self-limiting beliefs and fears step in your way, and just move forward and take the action. Christopher, you told me, you're like, damn, bro, you're getting so good at this stuff now.
You are.
And the first time I hosted the room with Princeton, I didn't even close the room out right. Princeton's like, bro, you gotta hit the end button, because it's gonna be, people still gonna be on there for forever because you never actually close the room.
We all start somewhere. That's the point. You got to start.
Stuttering and stumbling over myself. And, you know, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but
I still do
like
that.
it to me. And so just keep taking action, because authentic, vulnerable action where you're showing up as you, not who you think people want you to be, just you, is what's going to reach the people that need to hear your story. So those are my 3 words for the year. I'm pumped, man. I'm so jacked up for 2022. It's like this collective group and this entire stratosphere of people that we're building, this culture that we're building amongst all of us, and the comments on the camera right now is phenomenal. And I just can't wait to be part of it for all of our journeys.
It is. It's so true, because think about it. Think about how our worlds collided on Clubhouse, and then individually we're all having conversations with one another, you know, getting to know one another, like truthfully, like really getting to know and being vulnerable and being authentic. And then tonight I do the show. Scott says, I can't make it, dude. I got people in my house. I'm like, all right, I'm going to pop on there and just kind of talk about the year in review and whatever. And I put it out there, and Lexus and I were supposed to do something. And it was like, all right, boom, put it out there. Anybody want to jump on here? And look at the people that are on here. That's fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. And then we got Tara in the house. We got Jock in the house. We got all the beautiful people in the house here tonight. I want to respect everybody's time. In closing this conversation out a little bit, what are your each respective thoughts on what we can do for the people who are listening and watching right now, whether it's on the podcast or it's on the video cast, whether it's live or on the replay? What can we do for them in terms of inspiring them to get out of their comfort zone in 2022? I'll go last.
Okay.
We got Eric in the house. He says effort plus opportunity equals results. Eric, thank you so much for being here, brother. I hope you come back again. We're here every single Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at the Unfiltered Experience, of course. And Jock says here, what do you guys think about that? Jock says here, mine is divine wisdom. Mine, I decided, is expansion. I put down here because I do this every year. So I put down here expansion. That was the word I finally landed on, because for me, I want to expand in all the different areas that I've already been expanding in. So I want to continue that. I want to continue to expand in my reach and my impact in the world. So for me, it's expansion. It's about being open to what is next, because for me, most of my life, it's always been about controlling what is next. And that's a lesson I've had to learn this year, especially, is to be able to surrender. That was my year for this year, is to surrender and to let the moments happen, and to not have the need for predictability and certainty and control. And in the vulnerable moments where, like you and I have talked about before, Walt, just 2 years ago, I made over 6 figures, like steady income. I had every other Friday off. I had all 5 weeks of vacation. I had it made in the shade. Jumping, like Steve Harvey says in the video that I always tell you guys to watch, Steve Harvey Jump. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's less than 2 minutes. It'll fucking change your life. When I jumped and did that, and the vulnerability, sometimes I sit there and go, fuck, should I go back to work? And you and I, Walt, have talked about that. I'm like, well, maybe I go back to work for a little bit. It's like, no. Like you just said, messy action right now. It's all happening. And the thing I've been blessed with the most really this year is having you guys be a part of my journey, having all the other people reach out to me and say, Chris, I don't know why I need to tell you this. And I've had people I don't know why I need to tell you this, but I'm feeling called to tell you to let go, that it's all happening perfectly. It's all going to happen in time. You can't force it. You're not going to change it, but it will happen. You just need to understand that right now is your time to prepare for that. And I'm just like, so for me, if I had to give this advice, well, I will give this advice while you guys still think about it. For me, for all you guys out there, really, really think about, what is your why? What is your why? What gets you up in the morning? What is it that you want to be remembered for the most? It's not going to be the material possessions that you guys have. It's not going to be all the likes that you had and everything else. It's going to be the impact of the people that you were closest to that's really going to carry your legacy on. Because as soon as you die, people are like, oh, that was sad and I'm sorry. And they're like, they'll remember you on special occasions every year, but really people are going to move on. But what is your impact going to be? And when you wake up and you set that intention and you have gratitude for everything that comes into your life, there is nothing that will stop you. So that's kind of my thought on that. Alexis, what are your thoughts?
You know what, honestly,
no, lie to me. Please lie to me, Alexis. Lie to me, please.
I want to use this moment to actually tell you guys, because I'm sure I can come up with some different things to overcome, fear and step out of your comfort zone. But I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. And I just want to say thank you to you guys, because I feel like in every phase of my life, I meet these mentors and I dive into something that's really scary. And then I kind of master that craft, or whatever you want to call it. And then it's like that time has ended. And then I dive into something new, where this year, or next year actually, has been going full time with my business. But then all of a sudden, like what you were saying, it's like the universe brought us all together. And now I'm diving into Clubhouse and I'm getting on this. And I'm like, this is so out of my comfort zone. Yeah. So out of like, I'm a writer, like I could write all day long, but getting on video or like speaking, like I just ramble. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. And so I feel like I'm really excited. I'm scared, but I'm also excited because, of course, fear and judgment, my ego just like comes to the forefront. It's like, don't do this. But I'm really excited because even if I'm rambling or whatever, I'm amongst amazing, amazing motivational speakers all of you, you know, Tara, everybody, you know, Jock, everybody that was on here today, and I get to learn from you. And I'm sitting back and I'm hearing what you guys have to say, and I'm taking it all in and I'm observing, and I don't know, I'm just really proud to be here. And that's what I want to say about Uncomfort. Like, I'm doing that. I'm here now.
You're awesome. And we're learning from you too. So don't ever think that we're not learning from you. I see your posts. I see your vulnerability. We talk about it.
Thank you.
Keep shining your light, sister. Absolutely. Absolutely. What are your thoughts, Mr. Lee?
Who? No. Yeah.
Just a simple spirit. It sounds like alcohol though.
No, not yet. That's later.
Cheers. I drink and therefore I know things.
I promised Mary Kay that I would toast the new year in with her when her time comes.
How cute. I'm jealous she didn't want to do that. We should all do it.
Yeah. What about us?
Yeah. All right. We'll bring y'all in. We'll figure it out.
Jock.
What's the skill right?
So lean in. If it makes you a little bit edgy, lean in. That's really been the theme for me this year. And I think going into this next year, like you, Alexis, I could not have imagined a year ago that I would have done, what is it now? Well, 2 shows with Christopher live on YouTube. My kids think I am totally cool now.
Do they?
Why? Because you've done it with me or because you're on video?
Because I'm on YouTube. I mean, come on. I've got these 2, and then I've got the 2 Sunday things that are on there now too. So they think Dad's like super cool. But I could not have imagined being where I am now. Or I could have, but this is not where I thought I would be. This is so far beyond where I thought I would be at the beginning of the year. And Christopher, especially in this space, Princeton, if he's still listening, are a big part of that, are a big part of pushing me into that. It took pushing, trust me. There was a lot of pushing going on. It was not.
You came to 75 hard willing. I didn't have to push you into 75 hard. You came. You said, "I want to do it."
I did, and I chose to throw the quit smoking on top of it of my own accord, because I figured, because it was clear. And this is the thing. I guess this is part of the thing I want to share with everybody going into this next year. We know when it's time for things to happen.
Yeah. We
absolutely know. And we are always at choice as to whether or not we are going to step into that. So that is what I mean by leaning in. It is leaning in, not only leaning in, but embracing our own essence and being willing to set that free. And allow that to be expressed. So
I love it. I love it. Robert says, no doubt about it. Lee, Walt, last but not least, thoughts, words of encouragement for people to get out of their comfort zone, brother.
First thing is surrender, right? Whatever the divine is for you, just surrender. Do you guys know how much peace I have inside? Even though I should be terrified as hell, I left 80% of my income in corporate America. Much peace I have just surrendering the responsibility to continue to move this forward in the way that I think that it should be. And the second thing is belief that God is going to put me in the positions where I need to be, not, I love that, where I need to be, not where I think I need to be, where he knows that I need to be to have the biggest impact possible. And so as he's put the breadcrumbs down, and I kind of lean this way sometimes, and all of a sudden he's like, well, no, not that, go back the other way a little bit. And I'm just walking this path right now. But the belief to continue to take action every single day for that one person that might need to hear my voice that day, for that one person that might say, you know what, if Walt can overcome the shit he's been through, then damn, I know I can. I'm gonna use him as inspiration and rocket fuel to make the decision to stop staying in that pit of despair that I've been living in, where I'm angry and my kids feel like I'm walking around on eggshells, and I'm there's some shame for things I haven't let go, and there's desperation. They say men live quiet desperation. I think Tara said that in our clubhouses last week. And really believe where I'm going is where I'm supposed to be. And by not controlling it, I'm going to get there in whatever capacity that looks like. So for me, those are the two things. Just surrender and belief, and take that action, guys, because action creates results, which creates more belief. And it's this amazing cycle that you jump into, versus just continuing to grind through the day to day because society told us to stay in this little box. Get out of the box.
Get out of the box.
Decondition.
Fuck the box.
Ain't no box. Just get rid of the damn box.
Ain't no box high enough. No, I'm
there with you. I'm with you.
Princess says, let's go. You know what we got to do? We got to get, I'm thinking about this the whole time because I love the energy. We could sit here and all of us could talk for so long, and we've had amazing comments here appreciating our presence tonight. We need to get some more of these people in here. We need to get Princeton in here. We need to get Tara in here. We need to get Jock in here. We could stretch this shit out and make some real impact. And so if you guys don't mind, I would love to do this again with you guys in 2022 a little bit more frequently.
Yeah.
Maybe figure out a way we could do this and the clubhouse at the same time so we could see each other's faces and do that. But I just appreciate and love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. I learned so much from you guys, the guys in the audience as well. I really just wish the most impactful, amazing, momentous, awesome year for each and every one of you guys. And I can't wait to meet you all in person. I know that's going to happen next year. I feel that in my heart. It's going to happen next year. I mean, we're only 6 hours away. So one way or another, we're going to make it happen. So thank you guys. I'm going to let everybody know where they can connect with you. And then I'm going to place you backstage. Don't go anywhere. And then I'm going to end the show, but let people know where they can get a hold of you guys.
You could add me on Facebook, Alexis McQuillan. You could follow me on Instagram. I am Moonchild Official. And you could follow my Facebook page. I am Moonchild Official. So don't forget, I am Moonchild. I am moonchild.com. I am Moonchild Official. That's my handles for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. And just friend me. Let's be friends.
Let's be friends. Let's be friends.
Let's be friends.
I love it. Thank you. Lee, where can they get a hold of you at?
Facebook, Lee Height. Facebook, Simple Spirit 101. Instagram, Simple Spirit 101. And yeah, that's it right now. So far.
No TikTok?
No. TikTok, Wyvern, WYVERN _11 is my
you
TikTok.
need to change that. You need to change it to Simple Spirit.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Social media leverage right here, buddy.
Come on, Reverend.
I don't know what that means. I only know Simple Spirit 101 because it reminds me of like Jack Daniels 101 or something like that.
Well, that was the name. That was the program I did.
Of course it did.
All right. And what about you, Mr. Walt McKinley?
Yeah. So on Facebook, it's just Walter McKinley. On Instagram, it's Walt McKinley Motivation. Or you can even go to my website at waltmckinley.com. And, if you're feeling compelled and you feel like you need some help and you want somebody to help you overcome the trauma, the things you're struggling with, the self-limiting beliefs, you can go on my website and go to my Calendly and sign up for a free 30-minute session. And if we don't do anything after that, that's okay. And hopefully I can leave you with some nuggets that make you feel inspired and let you know that you deserve the abundance that's coming your way. You deserve the happiness. And 2022 is going to be an epic, epic year for all of us.
It is. You guys are rock stars. I'm going to place you backstage. I'm going to close out the show. If you guys need to run, I understand, but I'm going to place you backstage. I'm going to close out the show, but I love you guys. Thank you. We're going to do more of this. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. I apologize. We went 9 minutes and 41 seconds over, but I think and I believe and I feel that you got massive value from the conversation tonight. I had no idea where this conversation was going to go. I thought I was going to come on here for about 20 minutes. I told my wife I was going to be down up here for 20 minutes. Not that she's going to miss me, but she might be watching. Every once in a while she watches, and I walk downstairs. She goes, "You didn't think I was watching, did you?" And then I'm like in the doghouse, but most of the time she doesn't watch. But I'm going to get downstairs to my family and enjoy this New Year's Eve. Thank you, guys. Tara says here, she said, "Love you all. Happy 2022. Go remember who you are." Yes. Thank you for being a massive soul in my life. Darlene, Misfits for Life. Thank you so much, Darlene, for being here. I wish you a most merry kick-ass New Year. Thank you. What else we got here? Princeton, brother. Thank you I know you got your family, you got your kids and everything going on. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. We got more impact to do in 2022. Most definitely. You guys all rock. I mean, thank you for being here. It's been a beautiful evening. And I just truly, from the bottom of my heart, wish you guys all the best in everything that it is that you choose to do. Because ultimately, like I was told when I was 17 years old, this former homeless guy with long hair, smoking cigarettes, living in an apartment with 5 other guys, dating this girl. And her dad says to me, Christopher, you are only limited by the parameters of your own mind, which I liken now to Henry Ford's quote, if you think you can or you think you can, you're right. Here's one thing I want you guys to do for 2022. The word try, T-R-Y, get that out of your fucking vocabulary. You're either going to do it or you're not. You're either going to do it or you're not. That's it. Just decide you're going to do it. For once in your life, make the solid commitment, the self-love to let go of what is no longer serving your greater purpose in this world, in this journey. Let go of the addictions. Let go of the excuses. Let go of the victimhood. Let go of everything that's not serving your greater purpose. If you don't know what your greater purpose is, reach out to one of us. Whoever you gelled with, we will help you find your greater purpose. It's incumbent upon you to desire to find what your greater purpose is, because trust me, the years are going to continue to click by. They're going to click by. They're going to click by. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to have regrets. The 5 regrets of the dying. You guys have heard it talk about it all the time. There's a reason why I talk about it all the time. When you're thinking about your last moments in this world, what are you going to be most proud of? The things you ran away from? The conversations you did not have? Or are you going to be most proud of the times where you stood tall? Are you going to be most proud of the opportunities where you took a risk and you jumped and you leaped, even though you didn't know if you were going to be able to grasp a hold of it? Are you going to look back in your life and go, wow, fuck, I took some chances. I took some risks. I lived. I had an exciting life. Excitement and fear. Literally the same emotion. It's how your perspective is. Is it going to hurt me or is it going to thrill me? Life is a thrill. That's why we're here. Go have a thrilling life. Go have a life where you're not settling. Because if you settle for less than what you deserve, you get less than you settle for. I think that's a quote by Maureen Dowd, if I'm remembering this correctly. Lately, my quotes of my people, I keep getting them mixed up, so I must be senile or something like that. But you guys have all been amazing tonight. Jock says, long may your lum reek in the what? Oh, Jock's been drinking. Long may your lum reek in your din we hoose. Oh, he's using his language. Long may, anyways, you guys are beautiful and I love each and every one of you. We're going to be back here again next Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Scott will be back with us. It'll be 2022. It'll be our 2nd year doing the Unfiltered Experience, and we're excited. Let me just see who we have on the docket for the first of the year. Who do we have that's going to be on here? The first show is going to be we got Jacques Acquire. I hope I pronounce his life. He has had multiple traumatic brain injuries. His story is phenomenal. His spirit is phenomenal. So come back here. Just put it on your calendar every single Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have an awesome night, and you guys have a happy new year. I love you guys. From me and Scott, stay unfiltered, baby. Peace. Peace.